I didn't have it turned on.
Yeah, I've discovered that actually these work a lot better if you turn them on.
Yeah. Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now?
No dead air. No dead air.
Everybody who's watching is all like, "What the hell are they doing?"
All right, I turned on. Okay, these work much better if you turn them on. I discovered.
Okay.
How's everybody doing? Sorry
Good.
for my
Can
apologies.
you hear us this time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right, just making sure.
I saw you like pantomiming.
Hey, Brian.
What's up, Karshina? Good to see you. Hail Wyatt. Just got
Doing well. How are you? Good to see you.
Very good. Got my copy of where is it now? Now I'm supposed to have all my CG books handy. Hold on.
See, you're making it up.
I'm not making it up. Don't make shit up, son.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Yes.
We got skits in the chat. We got Doomsday Kingdom Army in the chat. Lothar D. Hey everybody. Welcome.
Willkommen, bienvenue. Welcome. We are alive. Alive.
Yeah, we are live, and I am going to be telling everybody about this now. So everybody, welcome to the show. We are so glad to have you. Tonight is a very special night. It happens to be the 1 year anniversary of when we lost the legendary great Sid Haig.
Indeed.
And
indeed.
Sid is, he's important to a lot of people. He's important to a lot of people. Very important to me, as he was actually, I considered him not like a close friend because, he had a lot of friends, but he was somebody that I got to sit and just bullshit with as like people, pretty regularly because he lived in the area.
Yeah.
So, so losing Sid was a big deal to me, even though, everybody dies. He's an old man, you know what I mean? But so I figured, tonight being that it's horror talk and it's the 1 year anniversary of him passing, I couldn't think of a better topic tonight than to celebrate, the work of the great Sid Haig.
Indeed. Indeed.
I'm stumbling over my words. Sid Haig. There we go.
Yes. And folks, I encourage you all to go to the Internet Movie Database and look up his name. Your jaw will frickin' drop. Okay? We're talking about a guy, I think his first film was it Spider Baby? I'm actually looking.
Spider Baby, 1967, I believe.
I'm going to go ahead and just bring up the IMDb on that. Hold on.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Sorry about the echo, guys.
Echo. Now pitching Manny Mona. Yeah, he actually started out evidently in a lot of TV.
Yeah, that's where he's got his
start. He was on MacGyver, kids, and on the A-Team. I mean, there was some special stuff. I mean,
he was virtually on. Yeah, he was virtually in every one of your favorite shows or movies or series. I mean, just about everything. If you guys look, I mean, you can start going through it. But I mean, holy crap! The Fugitive.
Even Star Trek. Hello.
Yeah,
man.
Star Trek.
Yep.
Star Trek. The Get Smart, Batman, the TV series, the 1965 TV series. He has been in everything.
Man from Uncle.
T.J. Hooker.
I think he was one of King Tut's henchmen in the Batman series.
Right. Because man, I'm telling you, sometimes you'll just be watching something totally random, and there's Sid.
Yeah.
All
like the time.
Dukes of Hazzard. He was in the Dukes of Hazzard, and you're like, wait, what?
I actually have that Dukes of Hazzard clip set up for us, so we're gonna be
insane.
That's like one of those. I was searching out Sid Haig clips, and you can't really search clips by Sid Haig. Hey, Mandy, what's up? Welcome.
Hello, the Queen of Comics Gate. Willkommen.
Hey, lady.
And Doomsday Kingdom Army, what's up? Lothar D in the hizzy for shizzy.
Yeah, I was watching. I saw that movie Bone Tomahawk not too long ago, and there he was in the beginning of it with David Arquette for about 5 or 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Yeah, as like these totally like depraved like scumbag like killers.
Yeah. So he played a villain in TV shows for a long time, and then he played small parts in a lot of movies, like Foxy Brown. He was in Foxy Brown. I think I have that clip.
He was in Coffee. He was in Coffee. He was in everything.
Yeah, because his film career really started with Jack Hill. Jack Hill is the guy who started out doing a lot of blaxploitation movies. His first movie was Pit Stop. Sid is in that. And he's also in THX 1138, which is George Lucas's first feature film.
Yes.
And The Big Bird Cage. Yeah. I think that's also Jack Hill. Let me check. Yeah, that's Jack Hill. And of course, Spider Baby, or The Maddest Story Ever Told, which he starred in alongside the great Lon Chaney Jr. And it's also renowned for being Lon Chaney Jr.'s last sober performance.
Yes, and they're actually, those clips are on YouTube, and you can watch them now. They're original black and white, and it's really awesome to see it. So if no one has seen it yet, go check it out. Those clips are on YouTube for Spider Baby. So
yeah, that's an awesome movie.
So if you tried to talk to him in real life, Drew, he wasn't like, get the fuck out of here, you wormy little shit.
Oh no, actually, so I probably have told this story before. I know I've told stories of interacting with Sid, but like, okay, so there was this restaurant we had in town called the Waffle Shop, and it was just like a breakfast house kind of thing, right? And he would go there regularly, and like, I think probably the second time I saw him there, I went up and talked to him. I didn't know who he was. I just recognized him. He looked familiar. And I was all like, dude, you look so familiar to me. Of course he looked familiar. He's like in every freaking movie I've ever seen. You know what I mean? But I'm like, you look so familiar to me, dude. Have you been in like movies or TV? And he's all, yeah. And then he mentioned a couple that I wasn't aware of. And I was, you know what I mean? And I was like, so I started talking to him, and I think he liked talking to me because I didn't know who he was. And I wasn't talking to him because he was famous. I was talking to him because he was interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, basically it got to be a thing to where like, I think it was like not every Sunday, because, he was a busy guy, but like a lot of Sundays I would go to the Waffle Shop, you know what I mean? And he'd be sitting there, and I'd be like, hey, Sid, is it cool if I join you? And he'd be like, yeah, sit on down. And I would sit with him, and I would eat there with him.
That's awesome.
I was there to eat anyway. And he was there to eat anyway.
Right.
And I would, and let me just tell you, when he let me sit with him, I'd pick up the check. So,
good on you, brother.
That is special to do that. You know what I mean? And to say, hey, cool. Is it cool if I sit down? Because a lot of people, they think, quote unquote, Hollywood types, they're like, oh, I'm not supposed to look you in your eye. I can't sit down with you because I know you want to have your alone time. But you're just like, hey, is it possible? And he's like, yeah, sure. Why not? They're just as human as we are, So
they are.
For the most part.
What's funny is I never really interrogated him or asked him a whole lot of questions about the business or asked for a bunch of stories. Every once in a while, I would hit him up for a story about something he mentioned. I'd ask him to elaborate because it was interesting. But I would more like ask him about,
how do you pronounce your last name correctly?
Well, that actually never came up, but I hope I wasn't pronouncing his name wrong. Then I never learned it. That would be horrible.
What was his ethnic background?
You know what?
It's right here on IMDb.
I'm thinking.
What kind of a name is Haig?
Honestly. I'm pretty sure.
Well, the cool thing about him, it's on the.
Yeah, he's Armenian, dude. So I mean, he's Fresno. So
gotcha.
I mean, this is Fresno. You know what I mean? It's like
gotcha.
If you're in Fresno and you're ethnic, you're either Armenian or you're Mexican.
But he had that.
Right.
But he had that ethnicity at that time where even though his background was Armenian, but he had that ethnicity where he could have played like a Telly Savalas lookalike. You know what I mean? Like you didn't know what were you. You know, it could be Jewish, it can be Arabian. I mean, he was in Coffee, and if you look at some of the scenes, he kind of like was a light-skinned black guy, and you were like, wait, but you got some mixture in you. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And so that was one of the main things for him.
Yeah, he was ethnically ambiguous, which is a great thing for an actor because then, of course, you could play a much wider range of roles.
Especially in the 60s and 70s.
Yes.
When most of the presentations were actually diverse for the sake of the story back then.
Yeah,
a lot of people like talk about like lack of diversity and all that kind of stuff nowadays and whatever. And there's a million reasons why things went the way they did and that kind of stuff. But in the 60s and the 70s, there was quite a bit of diversity, in fact.
Oh, tons. Yeah.
Well, you played your part. You played your part. So.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you were like a Native American actor, you'd be like the guy, right? Like Chief Dan George or oh God, who's the guy that's in
it's like Poltergeist too, that guy.
What's the name of the guy that played Geronimo? I mean, he's like played about 1 billion.
Oh, Wes Studi.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? He's like been in
everything. Yep.
And in fact, Sid played an Indian in a bunch of stuff. So.
Oh well, Charlton Heston played a Mexican, so.
Yeah, well, he's actually really a Mexican.
So
and
Charlie
Touch of
Sheen.
Evil. Yeah. Oh yes.
Charlie Sheen.
Because Martin Sheen's real name is Ramon Estevez.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yep.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's my God, it's amazing the stuff that he was in. As a kid, of course, I knew him from the blaxploitation movies. I knew him just from seeing him and the Buck Rogers TV series from like the early 80s.
Yeah, Buck Rogers.
Yep.
Yeah, I watched season 1 not too long ago. Yeah.
Wasn't he? He's only in a few of them, right? I mean, he wasn't like
Yeah. He wasn't a regular.
Very early. Yeah, very early.
Two or three of them. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Galaxy of Terror. That's one that I watched like 100 times when I was a kid. Like I taped it and just watched it over and over and over and over. It's one of the Mannix. Was he in Mannix too? Well, I'm asking. Like, he was in everything.
Anything that required a big, tall, scary-looking thug, he was probably the first choice. You know what I mean? He was probably their first guy. He's all like, "Hey, we got that Sid Haig guy. Let's go get him." You know what I mean? It's like,
absolutely. And he must have been easy to work with because if you're not easy to work with, people aren't going to be hiring you that much.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. That, and I mean, it's he. I mean, I know I've met Sid. I can't. I want to say I know Sid, but he's passed away now. I knew Sid,
but you hung out with him.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he was the coolest, most down to earth, most mellow. I mean, seriously mellow. Like if he was more mellow, he would be asleep.
Well, I know
he's got a long career to be like that. He's probably thinking, wow, I've got a great life. I've got good stuff. I'm always in something. So I have no reason to be mad or envious or, they're always going to call me. That's a good agent too. Like, Sid, I got another role for you. You're in TJ Hooker.
Well, and the thing about it is like, people would recognize him, but not recognize him. You know what I mean? Because, because he is so ambiguous looking. You know what I mean? Right. It's like he could, change the way he looks just by changing his, beard a little bit or, and then, they did, wear a lot of makeup in movies and that kind of stuff. But it just blew my mind how like normal dude he was, and, I mean, obviously I got used to it, he was super cool, but I mean, I miss the dude. There are so many things that I would love to talk to him about now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's I mean, here's the thing. It's like he passed away before we started this show. Can you imagine how awesome it would be to interview him on this show?
Oh my gosh, you would have, man, that would have been so. I literally probably be like, please, I don't know you, but please, 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 can I be on the show? Because just ask him questions. I mean, it was awesome.
He was so cool. He was so cool. He might have even wanted to become a regular. You know what I mean? That's how cool he was, you know?
Yeah, man. That's so cool to hear.
We got John Malin in the chat. Welcome,
what up,
John.
What up? And Mandy, I hate to tell you this, darling, but you say you think you've only seen Sid in House of a Thousand Corpses. Trust me, you've seen him in a ton of stuff, but you didn't realize it.
Exactly. It's Skit's comic. Hey, babe. He said he actually has that DVD set for Dukes of Hazzard where Sig is in. So.
Right, I'm sitting here in the middle of promoting, so we're not like showing clips yet. But I'm trying to work through this promoting. But hey, so seriously though, announcements before we start getting into too deep here. Announcements. Tomorrow night, RG East channel official Captain Love Chapter 2 launch tomorrow night.
Nice.
Yeah. So everybody who's watching, make sure you take a moment or two to come by and help us exploit the market. I guess
I shall be there.
Well, it'll be right after our Indie Comics show, so we'll just anybody who's a regular on that, we'll send you immediately over. So but for people who are not regulars to that, people who are regulars to this show and not that show, please 9 o'clock. Eastern on RG East channel. That's Raging Golden Eagle. We're going to be launching Captain Love. We're going to be doing our first big push for the Chapter 2 book, and that's going to be a fun time. Let's see here. John Malin said, I think Haig told me to fuck off when I met him at a show.
There's no way, John. We know that that's not true.
See, that's what I said. I said, man, I feel like if I tried to go up to him anywhere, he would just be like, fuck off, you wormy little shit.
Here's the thing. I never met him at a convention. I saw him at conventions, but this is like when I was like too shy to actually like approach people. But everybody that I know that had any interaction with him said he was wonderful, that he was somebody that was grateful. And, if you look at the end of his career, he was like the cult guy because you had all these cult movie fans, people like Tarantino, people like Rob Zombie, that like were fans because they loved the cult shit that he was in. And once they started making their own movies, started casting him, right? Yeah. And
he didn't do too much indie stuff towards the end. Like I didn't hear. I mean, Fresno would suck up that. I'm sure that a lot of people asked him, and he said no, a lot. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't doubt that.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all
Like on a daily, they probably did.
Yeah, I'm sure he got like more than one a request a day. It has, easily,
right,
more than one. So before we go too far into the stuff, we have to do the one that we mentioned a few times tonight. So.
Can be a nuisance, but this is one time I think they're going to pay off. Miss Tisdale ain't just fast; she's smart.
There's Sid right there.
Yep.
And she ain't the only one curious about this fella. What's he doing hanging around that old sawmill?
All right, come on in, folks.
I knew it. He was in cahoots with Boss Hogg.
Old Boss Hogg gonna have his fat little paws in his summers.
Yeah.
Cash, money. Sid making a
That's all he is. It's awesome.
I know.
In the 70s and in the late 60s, Sid was pretty much in like every single TV show. So
it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
John's all like, I think he told me to fuck off nicely.
Well, I know he was a spiritual guy. I know he was like a yogi. So he was definitely a guy that was heavily into meditation. And everybody that I know who meditates is chill as fuck. So
well, they have
that's
nothing to worry about because I mean they're getting everything they need, mind, body, and soul. And clearly he's been working since day one. So clearly it's working for him, you know?
without a doubt, without a doubt. And that's the thing about being a character actor is that there's Pam. When you're a character actor, it's like you can get sometimes like pigeonholed in a certain part, but then you're that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is to say, it's just like, okay, we need like a creepy villain guy. Richard Lynch. That's why Richard Lynch is also like in everything.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. So it's something that could be, it can be confining, sure, but it means you're always going to be working.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Doomsday Kingdom Army says, I grew up in the 80s. Dukes of Hazzard. First role I remember him playing and recognized him anytime after.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very distinct looking dude.
Yeah.
Did he I'm sorry. I think I'm lagging behind, but I don't think he had a star on the Walk of Fame because I didn't see it when I was living in LA. And that's one of the things that I pride myself on going through the star. I mean, there's so many that I probably missed, but did he have a star? I don't remember.
I doubt it.
There's a listing of them. Let's look it up. There's a listing of all the Hollywood stars where they're located, and
I don't think he was happening enough for that.
It doesn't matter. It's the amount of years, and it has to be.
Well, he's been nominated from one of the past previous ones to get you up there, and then you just pay the little $40,000 and you're good to go. I know that. I mean, I used to live in LA so it's like I know the secrets. It's like
gotcha.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So I don't even know what I'm talking about here.
It does not look like he has one on the Walk of Fame yet. It'll happen. It'll happen.
It should.
It should, but I just did a search for it, and it does not appear to be listed.
Yeah, because I don't remember seeing it. Even when you walk further down where the older stars are, which is a little bit off the beaten path, but they're still in the walk. I didn't remember seeing him, and I always thought, wow, wouldn't this be cool to have his name, close to either Madame Tussauds or those are like the big upper crust, but just even somewhere down there, it'd have been awesome. Maybe he'll get one posthumously. Maybe.
Well, I mean, it would have to be at this point because he's passed away, and he's not like he doesn't have like a huge estate. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
So it would have to be somebody like that were friends of his, like Quentin Tarantino would be able to just like say, I would love to see this done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
or a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe.
Yeah. Well, that's unlikely to go through one of those, but I mean,
but you know what I'm saying?
How it works,
Yeah. If you pass the hat, there was enough love for the guy out there that people would make that shit happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the thing is there's a ton of love for him. The problem is that a lot of people just aren't aware. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like for instance, Adam West. I mean, there's a whole documentary surrounding him getting his star.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you'd think it's like, really? How come he didn't already have one? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's really one of those things.
The original Batman caves, speaking of Batman that he was in, the original Batman caves are still a great place in LA. And it's a great place to go hiking through. I've got plenty of those pictures and hiking pictures. And it is awesome. You can actually still see, I kid you not, some of the wheel trails from the car that used to come in and out of the tunnel, the little cave part. Man. Every time you hike, you would think 40 million people going through this cave just to look at it. You're like, oh, you can't see it. No, there's some wheel markings. And I'm like, wait a minute. This looks like somebody's tire.
when this whole pandemic thing is over and you're back in California, we need to coordinate with a bunch of CG Cali types and do a Hollywood adventure tour kind of thing where those of us who are within driving distance, pick a day and we all hit a spot, you know what I mean, or a couple of spots, and either record a video or even live stream, the adventure. That would be.
Right.
I'm your girl. I would do that because I can tell you some secret places of how to get to those places that people don't know how to get to. So yes, that would be awesome.
Oh man.
Right.
So Karshina, you're like a like an urban explorer.
I actually am a official Google what is it, map person that you can actually like a Google guide. I am an actual official Google guide. I have a
No
t-shirt.
shit. Oh, that's badass, man. Yo, Hex, what's up? Hex in the house.
Hey, there's Hex.
Hey.
What's up,
Yeah.
chaps?
Frisky
Yo,
friend.
chaps.
Hello, Hex. Havana.
Like what you wear when you're riding a horse.
Oh, speaking of horses, he was in Gunsmoke. Did you know that?
It doesn't surprise me. He was in everything.
Yeah, the list of stuff he was in is insane. I mean, it's insane.
Oh man.
I mean, from you got to think though, from 1960 all the way to you know what, 2019 is when he passed. So there's probably still a couple things to be released, even. You know what I mean? That he's done a voiceover or something in. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. And then there's probably gonna be another like Rob Zombie movie where Spalding, an old clip is shown.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
So we're talking 60-year career.
Yeah.
A 60-year active career for 60 years. That is, I mean, that's Hollywood gold. You think about it. It would be hard to come up with a list of names that are recognizable that have had that kind of career. You know what I mean?
Oh.
There's guys like Michael Ironside and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But I mean, seriously, you would probably have less than 40 names that you could you know put into a bucket that have a 60-year career that are completely active from beginning to end.
That's so true.
And once again, if I could just encourage everybody that's watching to look him up on the IMDb, I'm gonna just start just reading off names here. Okay, MacGyver, Amazing Stories, Hill Street Blues, The Fall Guy, The A-Team, Fantasy Island, T.J. Hooker, Brett Maverick, Dukes of Hazzard, Buck Rogers, Heart to Heart, Jason of Star Command. I mean, it just goes. Charlie's Angels, Policewoman, Mary Hartman. He was in actually a bunch of episodes of that. 55 episodes of that. I mean, it's just it's insane. The Rockford Files, The $6 Million Man.
Yeah, it's every decent show in the 70s. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, is Chips on that list? I'm pretty sure I saw him as a biker in the 70s.
Chips on that list.
You know what I mean? It's like,
oh, here's one I didn't know. He's in a Bond movie. He's in Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah, he was the tall thug. He was the tall thug.
He was the henchman.
Yeah, he was the henchman.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Where he worked at the cemetery.
That's right. Oh man,
the mortuary.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. With the crematorium. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
So Drew, you're talking about his 60-year career. If he's kept with his same manager and agent, that's 60 years of just free money every year.
Right.
The residuals, man. Can you imagine? Mission Impossible. Get Smart. Gunsmoke.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman.
He was in Wonder Woman. He was in let's see. He was in Shaft, $6 Million Man, like you said, Rockford Files, Emergency, the fire department show. Geez, man.
It's so much. It's just so much.
The Lucy Show.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm assuming, which isn't I Love Lucy, but much it must have been.
That's the one that was in color. The Lucy show is when she went color.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's it. She had Desi Arnaz was a star. But a junior. Desi Arnaz Jr. was a star, and Lucy Arnaz. So that's obviously Desi Senior, I believe, was divorced but not passed away yet, and then Desi Jr. and Lucy Jr.
So she had a little solo. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Seriously though, if you are not familiar with his career, you need to take the moment just to spend a little time,
It's
you know,
ridiculous.
just because once you familiarize yourself with Sid Haig, anytime he shows up in anything, you'll be like, that's Sid.
Exactly. Exactly.
He's one of those dudes, man. He's one of those dudes, like the dude, really.
Yeah.
So let's give this a few seconds to see if YouTube's going to flag us. Wait, did I not get the noise?
Oh man, look at Pam Grier.
It's okay. I can do her line. Oh, baby, you're right. See, and he's laughing. And he's laughing. You see?
Yep,
There you go.
Yep. Oh man.
Yeah, you know what though? That it's Pam Grier is also a very talented actress. I mean,
she is. She's iconic in her own right. So let's just take a pause for that. Thank you.
She's iconic for this movie. This movie made her iconic. You know what I mean?
Smoking Hot had a ton of presence, excellent actress. You look at her even in like something like Escape from LA, which isn't a great movie. She's freaking fantastic in that.
That's Hershey.
Carjack, yeah, or previously Carjack Malone.
Right, Carjack Malone, aka Hershey.
She was in Bill and Ted. I mean, hello, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Right?
Yeah. Oh man, she was. Oh god, and I remember as a little boy, like we were like the first family on the block to have HBO, and they showed Arena, in which you get to see a lot of
yes, you do.
Miss Greer.
You are a naughty boy, Brian.
I remember
naughty.
this one.
Oh no, you want to see
that movie on HBO when I was a kid.
Very permissive about like.
If you want to see a lot of Pam Grier, go watch Black Mama, White Mama.
Which Sig was in that one too.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he is. He was in all those like movies that were shot in the Philippines, and definitely every like Jack Hill movie.
Yep.
And Jack Hill, if you folks aren't, is he in Switchblade Sisters? He had to have been in that.
I'm Amanda Fowler.
From the paper?
Yes, sir.
I ought to shoot you dead for waking me up at this crazy hour. It's the middle of the night, for Christ's sakes.
It's 8:45.
Well, that's what I said.
8:45.
Who is the colored? Who's the Deputy Winslow, Jefferson Parish? And you do know that the whole civil rights thing did take place. Just FYI. I didn't do nothing to that little girl. There ain't no crime in looking. I'm sure you didn't. Not a nice, tolerant man such as yourself. This here is harassment. I'll have your job. After tonight? Yeah, you just might have my job.
Mr. McMullen, we just wanted to visit with you about a matter of extreme urgency.
Was there a fire surgeon? All right?
She's fine. She's fine. We just wanted to have a minute of your time. Just a minute.
He's a minute.
A whole minute of my time? Shit.
8:45.
All right. So before
hatchet,
time, pretty much time rolls past. I did want to allow Karshina to talk about what is going to be going on for her in a few minutes. Do you want to tell people?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Yay. Thank you so much. Yes, Skits comic, Skits and myself. Well, actually, Skits is going to be the Skits Funhouse is going to be on later tonight with the Scotsman. So check out Skits comic on YouTube. We're going to do some great interviews with the Scotsman there. As you know, he's the colorist for Xenotype as well as the Natverse, which I'm surprised Simon Portier is not on right now. Pshaw. But that's okay, Simon. We give you a shout out for that. And also tomorrow, I am interviewing horror novelist Craig Stewart tomorrow on my Come Get Some Live. So
Nice.
It is the season. I am racking up a lot of interviews, especially for the Halloween season.
Awesome.
So if you guys have got something scary and fun, and you have something, come holler at me. Skits.
Yeah, definitely.
One still on Indiegogo. Okay.
I popped the link for that in the chat. So anybody who is curious about where that's at, the link is there. So,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Spartan will be.
Karshina, do you remember when you were like I think just launching the campaign, you were like, oh man, I hope I can we can get to like where you guys are at, and you guys have gone just like I predicted.
We still want to get to where you guys at. You guys have got books upon books upon books, so we're still trying to get to where you guys at. I mean, Drew's launching number 2. You've got like already, I mean, so just stop. And then you also got, Wyatt has got so much under his belt. So yeah, we're still trying to get to where you guys are at. So
well, it's not about me, it's about us. And that's what makes this community so much special. The a victory for one is a victory for all.
Yeah, I agree. A victory for one is a victory for all.
Victor
Although I'd like to make more money, so go back, Captain Love.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, we all want that. It's all about making enough to make the next book, and then the next book, and then the next book.
No, it's what it's really about is making enough to someday you can turn it into an actual career. That would be nice.
That's the dream, man. That's the dream, man. Yes. We can do this shit for a living. Oh my god. Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, so this is a very special thing.
You know what movie franchise I'm surprised Sid?
What's that?
Sorry, I'm still on a delay. I think I was saying one of the franchises that I didn't think that Sid was in, or that I thought he should have been in, Nightmare Before. Nightmare on Elm Street. I thought that he could have been cast as something on Nightmare on Elm Street. That would have been a great franchise for him to be in. I think,
absolutely.
With his look, the way he, spouts off. Like, I mean,
yeah, John Saxon was in that franchise, and John Saxon is also one of those dudes that was like in everything.
Yeah.
And but no, that's an excellent point. He never was in an Elm Street movie, was he?
We got Rampora Girl in the chat. Welcome.
Hello.
It's Rampadora Girl. I can't read, so
good to have you. But I mean, that tells you something about how insane Sid Haig's filmography is. That we have to like point out the shit that he wasn't in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, now that's crazy, right?
Right? It's like he wasn't in a single Elm Street movie. Gee, okay.
He never killed Jason. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's Friday the 13th, but I doubt he's there either. Yeah.
Or it's like, well, he was never in the James Bond movie. Oops, sorry. Oh,
yeah. Diamonds are forever. Yeah. So this will give you an idea of, if you don't know already, this will give you an idea of what Sid is like.
Yeah, I would like to add something to this. This is kind of just the release and the success of this film is kind of a testament to just being diligent and believing in what it is that you do, and knowing somehow that there is a place for what it is that you have done, and never giving up. I'm going to take a little bit of your time and give Winston Churchill's graduating speech to Oxford University. Okay, and this is the speech in its entirety. Never quit. Never, never, never quit. And there you have it, folks.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Words of wisdom.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom.
True words. Never been spoken. True words.
And a professional is just an amateur that didn't quit.
Not all professionals are amateurs that didn't quit, but a hardworking professional is somebody who, ideally would learn from the hard work that he has and have some humility about it. That's not always the case, but it definitely was the case with Sid. That the man could have had a huge ego, could have, and no one would have given him any hard time about it. You know what I mean? They would have been like, oh, well, look at him. Of course he's got a huge ego, you know, but no, he is ghost chair. Yes, Mandy.
Airstream coming up.
Oh.
Do you remember what he ordered or what you guys got at breakfast, Drew? Do you remember any of that?
You know what?
Was it simple? Was it just like it changes all the time when you saw him? Or
no, it wasn't always the same. But he would like get a steak and eggs, and sometimes he would have a pancake on the side. Sometimes he would have waffles on the side. Sometimes he would have like a craving for hot sauce. Sometimes he wouldn't. You know what I mean? It was yeah.
See, this is horror talk, people. You get an insight into like Sid Haig's dietary habits.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's like and the truth of the matter is, I really didn't pay that close of attention. And it's like if I thought now like I thought, if I thought then like I thought now, I would have saved the receipts.
Hindsight.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like Sim tells that story about meeting the great Jean Giraud, aka Mobius, right? And not knowing who he was, and having a conversation with them, a lovely conversation, and then afterwards having somebody say like, dude, do you realize who that was that you were just talking to? No, it was fucking Mobius, dude. Right? So at that point he was like, oh crap. But now you can look back and say he just had an authentic interaction with the guy, person to person. You know what I mean? He wasn't geeking out and everything. So I think it's the same thing, you know? It's like, it's nice being able to connect to people like that on a human level.
Yeah,
because
I just never even asked Sid for his autograph. As many times I sat with him, as many times I hung out with him,
that's cool.
As many times I've seen him where he was giving autographs, and I could have walked up and said, "Hey, dude, sign this too." You know, never, not even one time. You know what I mean?
That's that's the cool move. I mean, I'm not really into autographs. I do like to have things signed, right? Like if there's like a director, you know, like Don Coscarelli was at the Alamo Draft House. You know, it was great getting him to like sign like my Phantasm DVDs and Blu-rays and all that crap.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so I love that stuff. But I also always make sure that if I get something signed, whether it's a picture or a book or a DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, I always make sure they personalize it. So it's just like, yeah, this is not going on eBay. This is going on my wall or my shelf.
Yeah, you just reminded me. Sometimes sometimes I'm looking on eBay and I may buy. I'm thinking of buying something and I look and it says, you know, $2 Billy. I'm like, $2 Billy is just not going to work for me.
Right.
Two Wyatt's really hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not easy, man.
and they always look surprised. Like they always look like, oh, like, really? I'm just like, yeah. You know, it's just like, it's a way of letting them know. It's just like, it's because I'm a fan. I'm not looking to make money off of you. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
Yeah.
This clip, a little insane. Anybody familiar with this movie?
Oh yeah, it's Galaxy of Terror, which I was just talking about before. Special effects by James Cameron.
I felt like when I watched this movie, I always feel like this is one of the ones that actually shows like Sid's acting skill.
Yeah. Well, because he's so distraught, man, once that lave of his breaks. Because it's obviously like a religious thing for him.
It's one thing about the 70s, though. Shit dragged.
Well, but
the camera always had to go in for that close-up, you know?
Right.
Well, I mean, this is like one of the low-budget Roger Corman Alien ripoffs, but this is easily the best. Because it's really not even an Alien.
Look at that blood. Look at that blood. That blood is so bad, but it's so awesome.
I know. It's working its way towards his heart.
can you imagine the render's like, Sid, I need you to like clench your teeth. Okay. You know, and he's like, and cut. Good.
and cut.
Cause bang.
Sid, need to chop your arm off, brother.
Yeah, he's great in that. I remember watching this for the first time and being disappointed that he got that he was like one of the first people to go.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also because he was like the most badass, and so you want like the badass warrior, the person that's like the most together. That's got to be the first person that goes, so that like everybody else is like fucked.
Right.
My own personal favorite clip of his is one that I shot to Drew. I don't know if you feel like playing
Yeah,
it.
no, I got that. Let's see here. The intro from House of Corpses. Yeah.
I can't stand that movie. I think it's a piece of garbage, but it has the best menu screen of all time.
Fried chicken and gasoline. That's on Prime right now, Amazon Prime. So that and The Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like the movies aren't any good, but this, in my humble opinion, but look at this menu screen for the DVD.
Hold it. For the love of Jane Russell's big fat horse's ass on toast, stop ringing that goddamn bell.
That should be a cell phone, like ringtone.
Folks, come on in. Well, from the looks of them fancy britches and sassy little hairdos, y'all ain't from around here, are you? So where y'all from? What? I didn't quite get that. Obviously all y'all is mutes, because you wouldn't be fucking with me now, would you? No. See, the last guy that fucked with me ain't having a real good howdy do today right now. Y'all city slickers think you can come in here and just waste my whole goddamn day, don't you? Well, the hell with that. Get the hell on out of here. I got me some chickens to be dealing with. Look, if you don't quit doing the asshole shuffle and pick one of these goddamn options, I'm going to come over there and put my boot up your ass.
And this just goes on and on.
Like Samuel Jackson, but in a clown suit.
You can just stand there and kiss a dog's titties for all I care. I got me some reading I got to catch up on if you don't mind. Christ.
Read some smut.
Get this here thing.
You just let him go. That is improv at its best.
It is.
Yeah, that's a picture of the Grand Canyon or my ex-girl one. Yeah, let me see here if I got it. Oh, darling. I would purely love to bite you in the ass, take the lockjaw and have you drag me to death. Oh, yeah. Oh, my Lord. Oh, that and flexible, too. Damn. Let me see here. Turn-ons. Oh, shit. Long walks on the beach, candlelight dinners, puppies. Fuck. Oh, turn-offs. Rude people. Violence. Clowns.
Rude
people. What the hell are you all still doing here? What, are you in love with my ass or something? Well, why don't you just get up off that couch and come here and kiss me on my ass then? Jesus Christ. Well, fine. It is now official. You have just wasted most of my fucking day. It's lunchtime already. Damn. You will excuse me, won't you? Well, thank you very much.
Out comes the jelly donut.
I am juicy, motherfuckers. Oh, yeah.
That's the menu screen ever, man.
That is improv at its best.
Y'all got to get a laugh, I'm telling you.
Just imagine being on set.
I bet you these
Imagine being on set. They're like, cut.
It would be hard not to laugh. The set has to be empty for this shit.
Oh my God. This just goes on and on. Oh man, it's hysterical.
Fuck you very much.
Shit the bed. Well, howdy, folks. Come on in.
That's where it loops right there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah. See, this is what you miss if you're just like watching stuff via streaming video. It's like that's one of the things that I miss about watching stuff on DVD and Blu-ray, which is why I still get stuff like
what I love about that
physical media.
What I love about that is there's a lot of Sid's real life humor in what we just watched. Like a lot of his real life, comic chops, a lot of his real life personality that's funny, that was right there. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, no, he doesn't act like Captain Spaulding. He doesn't even have a country accent, just so we're clear. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's got a California accent.
Yeah, it's a character.
Yeah. So, but holy crap, man. That kind of funny shit that comes out, that's the kind of stuff he says in real life every once in a while.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, so he obviously was just like freestyling.
Yeah, that, and he's a very, I never really act like how much classes he took, but he's a very skilled actor. I mean, like he's trained, like very trained, and it shows.
60 years of experience. It's like you get people that aren't even great actors, and you could see them like evolve. You can see them get better, right? Like you look at Schwarzenegger in like some of his early movies, as opposed to Schwarzenegger later. Never a great actor, but you see him like, oh, okay, like around Predator. Oh, okay, he's like stepping up his game. He's trying. He's working, he's getting better, right? So you have somebody that's serious about their craft to begin with, and they never get complacent, unlike Robert De Niro. And so they're just keep working, reaching. And so like you get somebody that's had that much experience, and you just roll the camera and just let him do his thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's what long form improv is that they just allow him to just do what he wants, unscripted, and then they chop up and do in the editing room. They just say, okay, well, what can we use? What can't we use? We're just going to use it all for Sid. Right. We're just going to use it all. So.
And that's the thing about Sid is he could just like let it roll. Like, I mean, again, these stories are so personal. I don't like to get into them. I mean, they're like, I don't like.
Cool.
I mean, but there was this time we were sitting there, we were eating, and I was having a bad day. I was angry about something, and I was venting about something that was making me mad. I don't want to talk about what that was, but he just started saying the silliest shit. Like he was, and then he kept asking if I had a cockroach on my plate. So I'd look down at my plate. You know what I mean? And I was like getting paranoid about fucking cockroaches. And he was just doing everything he could to distract me from what was bothering me. And I'm like, I at the time, it was almost annoying at the time because I was bothered. You know what I mean? But when I think back about it, I'm like, how awesome of that is that he is showing concern for me. And instead of like snap out of it, get the fuck over it, he's like trying to distract me. Like make me forget about what the fuck I'm bothered by.
Exactly. Yep. And once again, that's like the meditation. I'm telling you, man, it's something that it's counterintuitive, right? Because you'd think that meditating, like turning in on yourself, you'd think that would like make you, I don't know, narcissistic or something, but it has this strange effect where it makes you a much more compassionate person. And you do care about the person that's maybe tailgating you, or, even if they're annoying you, you know what I mean? Somebody that's like like a little too close to you, like while you're waiting online at the supermarket or something. But also then it's just like, you see people down, you want to pick them up.
Speaking of, you just reminded me the time I ran into him at the supermarket. Oh my God. This story's great.
Okay, rock and roll, brother. Rock and roll.
That sounds funny.
Yeah, like, okay, so we're okay, so he knows who I am. We've already met. We've already been, we've already had, food together a few times, but it was still early on in like, you know what I mean? Like the times that we ate together was over like a 5 or 6 year period. You know what I mean? So this is like in the first few months of that time period. And we didn't like every Sunday. It wasn't like religious. It was, you know what I mean? Like over a long period of time. So,
Right.
but I'm sitting there. I'm at the, I believe it was Safeway or Save Mart. I can't remember what the name of the store was. It's right, but it's in Fresno near West and Ashland. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm in the checkout line, and I got just a couple of just things for myself. Like I think I had like some bread and I have like some eggs and just a little fucking things like that, right? And he's all, and I hear where's the beer? And I look back over my shoulder, and fucking sure enough, there's fucking Sid, 2 people behind me, fucking just being obnoxious. Like, where's the beer?
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. See, dude, it's stories like this are awesome, man. It's great that you have you have someone that actually kind of knew him a little bit.
He was really good for walking up behind people,
yeah,
and like getting right behind them and standing there to see if they'd notice him.
That's awesome. So
then if they didn't notice them, he might cough or say something kind of creepy to freak them out.
So he was a prankster.
He was I don't know if I wouldn't know if I can't think of any of like pranks that he's done.
Right.
But he's been around. I mean, if you work in the movie industry as much and as vastly as he had, you have to be a prankster. You know what I mean? You have to.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah. So I guarantee you he's a prankster. But like the kind of stuff that I've seen him do, like and like the beer thing is like thing he did to me. He has come up behind me and stood behind me once. You know what I mean? And it's actually kind of funny because I turned around to walk away from what I was doing and I walked right into him. Just boom. You know what I mean? And then he laughed, and I mean, so it really wasn't that. You know what I mean? He was trying to freak me out, but instead I blew it by turning around and walking into him.
No.
He was a big dude, right?
Dude, he was like almost 7 feet tall. Yeah,
right.
No,
he's 6'8".
Yeah,
is he
6'8"? I think so. I don't know exactly. I mean, seriously, he was like, he was big.
I'll drink a water.
Yeah.
Awesome.
In fact, what on his IMDb it says how tall he is, right? Like, isn't it say his?
Yeah, it should. Yeah.
Yeah, that's undoubtedly why he got cast so frequently as goons.
Okay, so according to this, he's only 6'2.5". All right, so he felt like he felt like super tall, but he's only 6'2.5". So
that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, by Hollywood standards, that's still a tall man because the Hollywood standards is 5'4". So it's on 5'7".
Yeah. This is true. You'd be surprised how many guys in Hollywood are right around 5'10", 5'11". It's actually probably the most common height. But like I have friends that are like 6'2" and 6'4" that are actors, and I'm trying to think like I just remember Sid being like honestly, most of my interaction with Sid, he was sitting down. So it's kind of hard for me, you know what I mean? Because like he was already sitting when I showed up, and then I would leave first. You know what I mean? And I would pay the bill and I would exit. You know what I mean? And so it's you know what I mean? So it's not like because he would actually sometimes like be meeting somebody afterwards, or he's waiting for someone to show up. You know what I mean? When I would leave. So it's so like just saying most of my interaction with him, he was sitting down. But yeah, 6'2" does sound about right. Now I'm thinking about it. So it's just.
He just always seemed taller, I guess, because a lot of the actors they interacted with.
It's you know what
they didn't put him on Apple boxes.
He's bigger than life. That's why. You know what I mean? He probably seems extra tall because he's bigger than life. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, there are people like that.
Yeah. I mean, I could never claim to be a good friend to Sid's. Like we weren't like super tight. You know what I mean? I never had his phone number. You know what I mean? But the fact that he remembered my name and was happy to sit down and talk to me and be casual, you know what I mean? And I wasn't a filmmaker then, just so we're clear. I had done acting a little bit, but I wasn't an actor. And I was actually a musician at the time. You know what I mean? So I think that maybe one of the things is that I was not in the industry. I was not like, you know what I mean? Might have been one of the things that worked as far as making us get along. But
Yeah. So famous.
Moses, y'all get the fuck out of here. Clowny, keep your paws where I can see. Yeah, don't move. I'll blast the hose of Kansas City watermelon through your ugly ass bozo face. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Go grab that other asshole out of the shitter and drag his ass back in here. Right.
You miserable motherfucker. I ought to jump over this counter and bash your fucking balls in.
All right, Tippy. Hand over the cash box, and I might leave your brains inside your skull.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ski King. Why don't you just take your mama home some chicken, and then I won't have to stuff my boot all up in your ass.
I don't like chicken, and I hate clowns. Put that shit down.
That's Michael J. Pollard.
Right.
That is it. I'm gonna count to 10, and you're gonna hand over all the cash, or I'm gonna splatter your grease paint mug across the state line. 1.
Fuck your mama.
2.
Fuck your sister.
What are we gonna do?
Oh, your mama.
Look at the hardware store, right?
Like your grandmama.
Right?
Shut your trap. Quiet down, both of you. 3.
Fuck your grandma.
Yeah, I remember now. All the guys made fun of you. Call you little dickwick.
Shut up.
Little dickwick, play with his prick. Don't the smell just make you sick?
Stop singing. I hate that song. Put your fucking mask back on. Fuck
yeah, that's enough of that one though. That's fucking intense moments.
Yeah, I mean, I've made it. No, I haven't hidden the fact that I really don't like Rob Zombie's movies. He keeps remaking the same movie, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Okay. But the one thing I always find entertaining in those movies is Sid as Captain Spaulding. Always entertaining.
I would definitely make the argument that Captain Spaulding is what made those movies successful.
Hell yeah!
I mean,
they did.
Yeah. Other than just the fame that surrounded them, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that name is synonymous.
Yeah, I mean, House of a Thousand Corpses was, I remember, I think it was Universal that produced it, and it actually was shelved for like a year or two, where they were just like, this is a piece of crap, we don't know what to do with this. And then it got released, and I think in conjunction with one of Rob Zombie's shit records, and it did okay, well enough to produce 2 sub-grade sequels.
It becomes a cult classic. It becomes a cult classic because he has his fans that were buying into the movie. So
okay, if you look here, this is kind of how Sid looked in real life.
And that's him with Malcolm McDowell.
A young boy like
yes,
that.
It is.
Yeah, I've never
yes,
seen
it
this.
is. Which isn't everything too.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, I read that. Ogre's a master.
Yeah.
Oh, Metal Movies Zabruski says, I met Sid. He was awesome. What up, Metal?
What's up, Metal? What's going on, brother?
Hey, Metal.
The piece now. Are we close?
Yes, it's just here. Goddamn son of a bitch.
What?
Fucking kids. Jesus Christ. Don't they think I have anything better to do with my time than clean up this shit? Fucking little idiots. God damn it. Where the hell are you going? Who would do sick shit like this?
I think I know whose grave that is.
Yeah. I refuse to watch those.
It's Rob Zombies.
Oh,
and they're fine. I mean, you just have to be in that Rob Zombie subculture to really get what his vision is. I mean, I think they're fine, but you know, but again, you're like, I guess, Karshina.
Yeah, but
no, well, look, it's about look. Taste is taste, right? I mean, it's cool if other people.
Brian's a horror snob, and we just have to get used to it.
No, I'm not. Look, I love. Look, I have a shit tooth. Okay, some people have a sweet tooth. I have a shit tooth, but I like a particular type of shit. not his particular.
I'm a horror aficionado as well, and I understand. But you know,
it's all good.
Ever since I listen to Rob Zombie music, so it's like, I'll watch his movie. Okay, it'll grow on me.
Gotcha. Hey, it's all good, and that's the thing that's wonderful about the horror genre is that there is something for everybody. And you know, not everybody's gonna dig like the stuff that I dig, like old Hammer horror movies and shit like that. You know, it's not. I always,
but
you know.
I do, Brian, but I do.
But no, and that's awesome. You like to sample from the whole smorgasbord.
Yes. That is true.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to get out of here because we're gonna be getting ready for our show.
Awesome.
Tonight with Spartan Scotsman, but thank you so much. This has been so much fun tonight for Sid Haig and his friends. And yes, Drew, count yourself as a friend. You had breakfast with him. That is awesome.
Yeah,
that's a good memory.
I was allowed to buy him breakfast a lot of times. That was nice.
So there you go.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for stopping in, Karshina. You know, always a pleasure.
Of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Of
good
course.
to see you again.
Good luck with the show.
Good to see you guys. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
This is more than I'd hoped for.
Chewing up the scenery. That was Jason of Star Command, I think.
I think so. I think that's what that was called.
Wow. Yeah. I actually have a friend who has that on DVD. It's very obscure, but that's the thing, man. Is these days it doesn't matter how obscure it is, you can actually get your hands on it.
Yeah, you know, it's just one of those things where Sid has just been doing work for so long that you're bound to see him and not even realize it anymore.
Yep.
I mean, just look. We're just going to run down this list again here. As that's the full bio. Hold on, let's go back to his.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's cartoonish. It's a cartoonishly large filmography.
So we'll just this is the most recent stuff, 2019, right? The year of his death. Stuff is released, right? Including 3 from Hell, which is a Rob Zombie movie, the last of them that he was in.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and I haven't seen that yet, but actually I heard that one was the best. So I'm curious to see if it was in fact better. But I mean, just look at all of this stuff here. This is insane. I mean, you rarely ever see an IMDb list this long. Rarely.
Very rarely. It's amazing.
I mean, the A-Team, of course, right? Scarecrow, right. Mrs. King, one of my favorite shows, The Fall Guy, one of my favorite shows of all time. I mean, Hill Street Blues, do you guys remember that show, Misfits of Science? It was like one season long, but it was that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Courtney Cox. Mm-hmm. He was on LA Law. My God.
See, in the Buck Rogers episodes, he played Pratt and Spirot, and then that would be Time of the Hawk, and then Fight with the War Witch. I wouldn't know those by the titles, but
Flight of the War Witch is the 2-parter with Julie Newmar in it, and then Time of the Hawk is going to be your season 2 opener.
I gotcha.
Oh, he's a Leprechaun.
Time of the Hawk is when was that when the one when they introduced Hawkman?
Yeah, the Hawk dude that when they changed it in season 2 and made it more like Star Trek.
Yes, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, and they were on that ship, the Searcher or something like that, I think it was called. But Yeah, and then this guy was kind of like a Spock ripoff, but he was like a Birdman.
Right.
And,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
My goodness, he was in. Oh yeah, no, of course he was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 because that's what Rob Zombie.
Holy
That's
crap!
the movie that he keeps remaking.
Okay, wait.
And he keeps using the cast.
He was in 2 episodes of Electra Woman and Dinah Girl.
Yeah, he was Alibaba's genie. Yeah.
Murder She Wrote, Silk Stockings. Like, what the hell?
Now that's one of the things that they should really bring back. Electra Woman and Dinah Girl was ahead of its time. They really should bring that back. I think that actually could happen.
Yeah, but they do something really stupid with it now.
They would. They'd kill it. Well, it was kind of dumb then, just so you know.
Yeah, but it would
it'd be hard. It'd be hard to make it worse. It'd be hard to make it worse.
Yeah, it would be woke stupid now.
I mean, it was just, the Adam West Batman, but with Deidre Hall.
Well, it was Cross Superstars. It was one of the Croft Superstars shows, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
What was that one? Space Nuts, Cross Superstars. That was my favorite one.
Far Out Space Nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, Far Out Space Nuts.
Wow.
I said lunch, not launch.
Far Out Space Nuts. Man, we are really digging deep. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about that show.
The Bugaloos.
Yeah.
The Bugaloos in the air and everywhere.
Yeah.
Heard on the grapevine. The grapes like snitch everybody out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, those shows were so drug oriented. It's so funny.
Oh, I know.
Right, like HR Puffin stuff.
HR Puffin stuff, and
stuff, get it?
The Banana Splits.
Banana Splits, la 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 la. Didn't they just make it like a Banana Splits horror movie?
Segment of the Sea Monsters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, oh man, so drug oriented.
What was that one with Ruth Buzzy when they were in the time machine thing that traveled? It wasn't Time Machine. It was whatever. What the hell was the name of that movie? That show. It was another one of the Cross Superstars, but it was the Ruth Buzzy one.
Oh, it's like somewhere hiding in the dim recesses of my mind.
Yeah.
It's not coming to me.
Didn't do enough drugs to remember that one.
Yeah. Oh man.
The Lost Saucer.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It was a takeoff of Lost in Space, but it was like they mostly based on like what was like an elevator. You know what I mean?
Oh, and Doomsday Kingdom Army.
Well, that's right. It was Jim Neighbors and Ruth Buzzy. That's who the other one was. It was Jim Neighbors.
Oh, wow. That's insane. Doomsday Kingdom Army says, Rob Zombie films suffer from having to have his daughter in every movie. She really is awful. That's not his daughter. That's his wife. And you can be sure that once his movie career ends, she's going to be up and gone.
No, they're a serious couple. The two of them. They're a serious couple.
Whatever.
So.
Yeah, okay.
They've been together a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
before the movie career stuff, they were together. They were his. She was like his girl, like when he was a rock star, and you know,
they call those groupies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He had a reputation because he was like part of like the New York scene when I was part of it, and he had a reputation for being like a major misogynist.
Well, remember, if you remember, didn't he was like an item with his bass player, right? At one point.
Sean Yasult, like
they were an item, and then when they broke up as a couple, that broke up the band, White Zombie. And then he moved on to a younger version of her, which was this girl, and he's been with her ever since.
Yeah, he had so much control in White Zombie, he would actually pick what tattoos they got.
Yeah, I've heard psychotic stuff like that too. I mean, the truth of the matter is, as far as hard work and result, White Zombie plugged away for 10 years, hardcore. 10 years devoted not cutting back, innovating metal.
They couldn't make it in New York, but that's because no band could make it in New York. They had to move to LA. Any band, if I don't know why that was, but any band that was, because they were like grinding away for a long time in the New York scene, and they moved to LA, and that's when it happened. That's when it clicked for them. It was just
it's because the LA Strip is a very active, band friendly, you know, especially during that time period, club friendly thing. And they had dance music. They had metal that was dance music. You know what I mean? And nobody else had that. It was innovative. It was first, you know what I mean, on the scene. Nobody was doing anything like that. And they just basically kicked it out. And then they got before they got super famous, they got music into movies. You know what I mean? Because they were in LA, that was basically where a lot of the money was, you know, to help them get who they became is that they were getting soundtracks in movies. And
because I mean, look, I knew some great bands in New York, and they just couldn't make it. They just couldn't break through because they were in New York. But God, I'm trying to think of some of the other bands that moved out to LA and broke through. But yeah, no, there were quite a few.
God damn it!
Such a great cursor.
I know.
And check this out. In real life, he didn't cuss that much.
Oh, like, I can believe that.
I don't remember him cussing hardly at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now he would, like, if something bothered me, fuck, damn. But I mean, it wasn't like he every other word.
Right, he's not like Captain Spaulding level.
Right. Well, most of his characters swore like that. Most of the characters he played swore.
Yeah. They generally tended to be on the surly side. Oh, that's PJ Souls, by the way, from Halloween.
Yeah, clown.
And Rockwell Haskell.
Hi.
Rock, Haskell. Wait, isn't that the chick that was also in Stripes and Carrie?
PJ Souls, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, she got heavy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, time wasn't really kind to her.
She was really hot back in the day.
Smoking, dude.
You have some top secret clown business that supersedes any plans that you might have for this here vehicle.
Top secret clown. Oh man, it looks so creepy in that makeup, man. It looks so creepy.
Yeah, and the thing is the Captain Spaulding character is probably his most iconic character.
It's what he's known for. Like certainly amongst like the normie community for sure.
Right, exactly. I mean, he's done so many characters, you know. But I mean, Captain Spaulding for some reason is like the big blow up for him. He would even say so himself. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So,
most definitely.
What's that about clown business?
Stutter, bitch.
Jamie, get in the car. Lock the door.
Where the hell you going? Damn it. Don't you never turn your back on a fucking clown when he's talking to you.
Fucking hands off of me.
What's the matter, kid? Don't you like clowns? Why? Don't we make you laugh? Aren't we fucking funny? You best come up with an answer, because I'm going to come back here and check on you and your mama. If you ain't got a reason why you hate clowns, I'm going to kill your whole fucking family. All right, now get your fucking ass out the car. Come on. Yeah.
He played it up. He played that part with such gusto, man. Hail Sid Haig.
Hail Sid Haig.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. 1 year today. You know, he would have hated. By the way, he would have hated 2020. He was spared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have. I mean, he would have got COVID and died. He wouldn't have made it. But seriously, he was spared. Stream is unavailable. We just got smacked for that
again.
They did not like the official clown business.
Yeah, no, they didn't. They don't respect that shit at all.
No, they do not understand that it supersedes their bullshit.
Yeah, man. Fellas, I'm sorry, but I have got to boogie.
We might as well call it a stream since the stream's unavailable. We're gonna drop off on YouTube anyway. So and this was a good night to pay homage to Sid Haig. Tomorrow night, everybody, please come here to Indie Comics Interviews. It starts at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. If you're in Mountain or Central, do the math. Damn it, fuck. And after that, then we're gonna do Captain Love's launch on Raging Golden Eagle. And oh look, the stream is back. Thank you, YouTube. Fuck you. God damn it.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
YouTube, you're number one.
All right.
Oh, it's maddening.
All right.
And Wyatt, excellent read.
Thank you, man. Yeah, good. Oh, you read it?
Yeah. It like gobbled it up. Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun.
I have not had a chance to read it yet. It's definitely on my list to get to read.
It's really
glad you liked it, man. Glad you liked it. Thanks.
And if you guys have not backed Space Gal yet, get yourselves
Rocket
on
Gal.
Rocket Gal. Why? There's too many fucking titles. God
Space
damn it!
Chick. If you've not backed Space Chick and the dog.
And when can we expect another volume of this, by the way, if you don't mind my asking?
Probably pretty early next year. So.
Okay. And don't forget, people, Comics Avalon, there is merch.
That's right. There it is.
All right. So why don't we put some links in real fast here?
Hell yeah.
To Space Gal for those who have not Space Gal. Rocket
Gal.
I'm gonna keep doing that. Sorry, dude.
Okay. Dude, do you know how much I drove Vinny crazy by calling Through the Woods Into the Woods? Over and over and
I think
over
everybody
again.
has called it Into the Woods. So I don't think you're the first one.
Oh, I felt like such a douche.
I remember the early days of it. We used to have to be like, "Hey, Vinny, I got a question. Into the woods or through the woods? Can you clear that up for us?" Yeah, man. More than a few times I wasn't sure, and I was like, man, I want to make sure I get this right before I, type a promo tweet or some shit.
Absolutely. You're trying to hype like your fellow creators' stuff, and then you're like using the wrong title.
Right.
Oh man, so embarrassing. Oh, shit happens though. And but yeah, man. Oh man, that's gonna be great. The Captain Love launch tomorrow on RGE. RGE is somebody that's done so much for this community, and is so gracious with connecting this community with his community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
And he has been a great contributor to what we're trying to accomplish as a community.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. Yeah. And he's also, I also consider him a friend because he's a pretty cool dude. So.
He is a cool dude, and his streams are awesome. Wyatt, anything else that you want to pimp, brother?
Ardonna Zero is still in demand. We're going to print on that in about 2 weeks.
That's
on board for that.
That's the same one, right? Because I know I got the first time you put that up. It's the same.
Yeah, it's more or less the same book. There's gonna be a few pages of extra things, like with some character, some character bios, things like that. We made the lettering a little larger, kind of small. A couple people said that the lettering seemed kind of small the first time around. So, if I hear it from 2 or 3 people, I'll take that into consideration for sure. And the lettering's larger. Me and Eric got together, fixed that. But as far as the story, no, you're not missing anything if you got the original and you don't pick up the new one. So, yeah.
Okay, because I already
make a short story long.
Excellent.
To make a short story long.
Because we're
gonna paste the link for Ardonna is also now in the chat. So that is in there. So everybody get in on that while you still can. And we are going to say goodnight. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. On the rare occasion I have my hair down, just in case anybody didn't notice.
I noticed that, dude. I did notice that. I didn't want to say anything, but you're looking a little sexy tonight.
It was covered before you got into the chat.
Gotcha.
Because you're late.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible that way.
All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hey.